Welcome back to Stitching Your Story piece by piece. We're in week 7, day 2. For sewists who only sew occasionally, often they have a grandmother's machine or an old sewing box. It's a big frustration when they get out the machine and start stitching only to have the thread repeatedly break. Did you know that even though you inherited your grandmother's sewing kit, it's recommended to ditch the thread in it? Thread stored in the attic for a decade will be more brittle because it has experienced moisture, humidity, and fluctuating temperatures. It appears this sewist has all the tools for success, but the thread holds back progress. Immediately, this brings on a mindset of failure. Perhaps the narrative runs something like this: I'm a failure, I failed God, I've not been able to complete my task, and I should give up. The truth: the thread is simply old and brittle. Failure is a common negative mindset. What do we believe about God when we fail? For starters, let's remember that God is a God of persistence and perseverance, and failure in our eyes does not mean failure in His eyes. Failure could be part of a trial that is part of the refining process God has for you. When we focus on failure instead of seeking strength from God, we become defeated and forget God's plan about His kingdom purposes being fulfilled on earth just as they are in heaven. One of His main purposes is for us to be transformed into the image of Christ. This will involve a refining. Thinking that the world is all about our success or failure means our inner peace can change from moment to moment, depending on what the day's accomplishments look like. Just as old thread breaks when you sew, the mindset of failure also prevents you from troubleshooting the problem. Dr. Leaf also points out that having an unrealistic expectation of your own performance puts your body and mind in stress mode, which negatively affects your health. When you feel failure, readjust your expectations and ask God to show you His purposes in your situation. He wants to use this for His kingdom purpose of transforming you. Expect His transformation. Don't give up. He will never give up on you. Read James 1:3-8. Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like the wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. The person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. Reflect. When do you have thoughts of failure? Write your thoughts. How do your thoughts correspond with God's truth? Record your thoughts. Prayer. Father, thank you. I don't have to be perfect. Thank you for the persistence to know when to keep going, even when I feel like I'm doing it all wrong. As I persist, I ask you for wisdom in the situation, believing that you delight in giving wisdom to your children. Amen. Power prayer for week 7. Thank you for teaching my mind your truth and setting me free from negative thoughts. Be sure to stay connected for the next reading of Stitching Your Story. Grab the paperback or ebook on Amazon. And stay tuned for updates about the translation of Stitching Your Story into Albanian for Come and Sew Ministries International.